الموت. So here the ayah shows if someone, death approaches someone, doesn't mean he's dead already, no. First of all, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu is a call for all of us. Anyone is a believer, Ya ayyuha alladhina, to every single one. Said Ya ayyuha nas, to all the all mankind, all the humanity, all of every human being. And here Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, only for the believers, or who have believed, said shahada. So if someone approaches him the death, so you should have, when he about to do the bequest, the will, the living will, then he should have two people, righteous, good people, to witness his bequest, the wasiyah. So he says, شهادة بينكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت حين الوصية. So the wasiyah here, usually, the wasiyah when someone approaches death, the thing is, usually we're not talking about the wasiyah, how much you should get 1/3 for the sake of Allah and so on. Usually they said, the people of now they said this kind of wasiyah, what the family should do, how much do I owe this person, how much owe that person. The thing, his right and his obligations should be informed about, or what he left behind, his family doesn't know about, because usually, unless he did not bequest the 1/3 or something for the sake of Allah. However, he said two men should be there to testify and for the wasiyah, for the bequest. He said, اثنان ذوا عدل منكم, two Muslim men. Now here, أو آخران من غيركم, or two non-Muslim. Two non-Muslims could be Christian, Jews, or anybody. Because آخران من غيركم. He said two beside the Muslimin. Usually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned أهل الكتاب. They have a special deal. You can marry from them, you can eat their food, and so on, right? But here said, when it comes to this stuff, there's any two. أو آخران من غيركم. So it doesn't matter who are they, so they could be. So then here, if there is no two Muslims, then others. But there's conditions for that. And we said, remember, آخران من غيركم, two beside you, beside the two Muslims. If there is no two Muslims, others two. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made conditions here. Made condition. When should we take the shahada for the two Muslim or non-Muslim here? I'm sorry. When can we have two non-Muslim? Said if you in antum darabtum fil ard. So basically, if you are a traveler and فأصابتكم مصيبة الموت. So you have to be traveler and also you're approaching death. And you have no one from the Muslimin to testify. And usually when you're around, even in a non-Muslim country, around the community, you find two Muslims. But if you're a traveler, probably somewhere, whatever, different country or different city, would be too hard probably to find two Muslims. So two others beside the Muslims, there's no Muslims, then they could be the one who the witnesses for your bequest, and at the same time you have to be about to die. So in أصابتكم مصيبة موت, when you are about to die or approaching death, subhanAllah. So this is the condition. Otherwise, has to be Muslim, because he said the ayah shows the conditions and how precise the deal with the testimony after they have doubt in your head about this. However, the whole ayah, the reason, there's many books they call Asbab al-Nuzul, the reason for the revelation. Even the Quran was by the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and way before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But however, so there's reasons for the ayah to be revealed, as you know. So this ayah was narrated by Hadith ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, that's Tamim al-Dari, and his brother when he was Christian. Tamim al-Dari, one of the Sahaba, major companion, he was a Christian. Uday ibn Badda, they call him. So however, it's happened a story with them. They were traveling, and another man, he died in their presence. So when he was dying, he gave him his bequest. So listen, this is what you should do, and I'm going to give you something they call a glass or something like glass, something like a bucket made out of silver, so expensive one. They call it jam, right, in Arabic. So not English, not jam, the food. So however, it said the bucket there, they said, give it to my family. So they went there, and they're Christian now. went to their family. They said, listen, this is what your brother gave me. So gave him everything except for the silver thingy. So his family told him, did he give you anything beside this? He said, no, wallah, why? I mean, this is the only thing he gave us. So, subhanAllah, his family, they, later on, they found this, because they know the jam, they found it was sold in one of the stores of Mecca. So they went to the store owner, told him, who sold it to you? He said, Tamim al-Dari and someone called Huday ibn Badda, which is his brother by his mother. So the brothers. So they didn't have the same father, the same mother. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have revealed the ayat for this purpose. Now what should we do? If a Muslim, you could tell him this is haram, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so on, but this is a kuffar. They're non-Muslim, Christian, and how should you deal with them? So it said, Ya ayyuhalladhina shahad bainakum, so you have to have two men, Muslim men, if someone approached it and when he write the will, and if not, two non-Muslim, أو آخران من غيركم, non-Muslim any deen, in antum, with condition, remember, you can have him. If you travel, you don't have to have the non-Muslim. If you don't have Muslims, unless you are approaching the death and you are traveling or you cannot find Muslims somewhere. He said, تحبسونهما من بعد الصلاة. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he called them and he said, make an oath. So of course, no problem. He said, Wallahi, we didn't do it. It's easy, subhanAllah. So then, they said, then you did not take it because they have made the oath. However, تحبسونهما من بعد الصلاة. The scholar said this after Salat al-Asr. So you call them, when you call the Christian, tell them, say Wallahi. It's not a big deal to them. Say Wallahi and say it. But still here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants them to make an oath. Say Wallahi, I didn't take it. But you choose a time, basically special time for them. Sometimes they don't, for example, whatever, on Sunday or something, whatever, sometimes special for them, there will be less chance for them to lie. You still have to make an oath, subhanAllah. So, تحبسونهما, mean you hold them there. It's not like prison, تحبسونهما. There's you hold them there, they're not allowed to leave town, for example. Like now, what they call they get you out of jail with pound, right? You pay the pound, then they get you out of jail for under there's a court and so on. So, they said, you bring him after Salat al-Asr. Seemed like around Salat al-Asr. They said this is the greatest salah. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى. Said, guard all your salah and the salah, the middle salah, which is wusta. The salah wusta, the middle salah is Salat al-Asr. They said that among all the people, almost all the people of Tafsir, they said, some people said Fajr, but the strongest opinion by far, Salat al-Asr. So around that salah, then he said, فَيُقْسِمَانِ بِاللَّهِ. When do you make him make this also? You hold them back to make an oath if you doubt their testimony. In their tabtum. If you have doubt, so you have shak that they're not saying the truth, they hold some of the bequest back, then you hold them back. And he said, basically what they say here, they said here, فيقسم تبتم لا نشتري به ثمنا قليلا. So usually ولو كان ذا قربى. The Christian here will say, why would we do this? We'll never do this. Even if it was a family member, we will never lie. Even though we have doubt they're not saying the truth. But they mention here ولو كان ذا قربى because usually people they take side when it comes to their family members. Unfortunately, when he sees the brother does something or his friend, close friend does something, you always find a reason for him. Someone far away from you or someone you have little issue with him, right away you support that person. You support, his enemy or your enemy. His enemy. However, he said, إن ارتبتم لا نشتري به ثمنا قليلا. We're not gonna basically lie for worldly gain. ثمنا قليلا. ولو كان ذكر, even he was a family member. He said, subhanAllah, the ayah here, we said was narrated by Tamim al-Dari. And now, subhanAllah, the family have doubted them. Tamim al-Dari, after he became Muslim, he went back to his family, to the family of the deceased, because he passed away, said, I was a Christian, And we the one who, myself and Uday ibn Badda, which is my brother to my mother, we took the jam, the pot or the bucket or whatever, and he said we sold it for $1,000, 1,000 dirham, and this is my 500, and he owes you the $500. Then he was forced to give the 500 dirham. So, and he said, وَلَا نَكْتُبُ الشَّهَادَةِ وَلَا نَكْتُبُ شَهَادَةَ اللَّهِ. The shahada, Allah subhanahu in general, he said, وَمَا يَكْتُمُ الشَّهَادَةَ فَإِنَّهُ آثِمٌ قَلْبُهُ. Anyone conceal the shahada. If you know the shahada, you must testify. You cannot say, I have nothing to do with it. What about the right for your brother? If someone, he borrowed money from in front of you, from me, and when he asks you to testify that, tell him he took money, he can say, no, he didn't. I have nothing to do with it. I don't want to be involved. You must be involved. You cannot conceal the shahada. If you see something and you were asked to testify, you must say it, because you are helping the truth. Is that clear? Okay. Here said, وَلَا شَهَادَةَ اللَّهِ, and Allah said, شَهَادَةَ اللَّهِ, the shahada belongs to Allah. Shahada belongs to Allah. إِنَّا إِذًا لَمِنَ الْآثِمِينَ. I mean, if we lied, we are sinful. So basically they are trying to say, we are not sinful, we're not going to conceal the shahada, we know the consequences, we will never make an oath, a false oath. So the thing is here, we said, only the kafir will make the oath. The Muslim does not have to. The Muslim, for the kafir, because they could lie, they could say something, basically call the people sincere, you cannot trust them with stuff like this. But the only thing, they were in that position to testify because there is no others beside them. And he said, why they have to make an oath and the Muslim does not have to make an oath? Because basically they denied even something bigger than that, which is the message of our Prophet ﷺ, the most truthful message. All the messages of prophets are truth, but this is the best deen, the best prophet, and they denied it and never believed in it. So they could lie about testimony. So that's why you make him make an oath. And subhanAllah, he said, even the kafir, he does not fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but sometimes Allah subhanahu put the fear in their hearts. As Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said the mubahala, when he said in the Surah Al-Imran, said, إِنَّ مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ آدَمَ. Said the example of Isa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the example of Adam. خَلَقَهُ مِنْ تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him from dust. Then he said, be, and he was. So Isa, same thing, it's a miracle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he created him without a father. So he said, فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ فِيهِمْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنْ الْعِلْمِ فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا. If they have doubt, if they want to debate, let them come. So make something called in Arabic mubahala. So if whoever lies, Allah will send the curse upon him. Allah will curse him immediately. Or Allah send the punishment upon him. He said, فَقُلْ تَعَالَوْا نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا وَأَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَنِسَاءَنَا وَنِسَاءَكُمْ وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ. Said, let's call our children and our wives and ourselves. We stand here and we make dua. نبتهل means. So فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين. Then we make dua against the liar, both of us. So the few and both. May Allah curse the liars, both. So subhanAllah, so the kuffar, subhanAllah, even they were kuffar, they know they were lying. They know this is the true prophet. They withdrew, they pull out. They would not make the dua. They call the Nasara, the delegation Nasara, or the delegation Christian from Najran, which is the southern part of Saudi nowadays. So when Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have debated them or challenged them, said, let's make dua against ourselves, our children, our wives. Whoever lies, may Allah send the curse or the punishment on him immediately. So they agreed to meet the next day. The next day, they said, no, we didn't show up. He said, Wallah, if we did that, we go home, we're not going to find the family. They know the truth. So sometimes even they said, that's requested, the Christian or the kafir, doesn't matter, to make an oath is recommended. You should, if you have doubt about his testimony is not right, make him make an oath. But you choose the right time, the right statement. So you should know about about how to deal with the situation. So the thing is, he said, even though he said, inna idhan lamin al-athimin, this is the end of this ayah. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said in the Quran, فَأَنْ عُثِرَ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُمَا اسْتَحَقَّا إثما فآخران يقومان مقامهما من الذين استحق عليهم الأوليان فيقسمان بالله لشهادتنا أحق من شهادتهما وما اعتدينا إنا إذا لمن الظالمين. SubhanAllah, here the ayah, he said, if you find out, if you know that those were guilty, mean they're basically they not saying the truth. You find something, you find definitely they are lying. The two witnesses from the non-Muslim, and they are concealing some of what they have saw. They conceal the things they're supposed to share with the family of the deceased. Then فآخران. So you bring two آخران يقومان مقام to replace them. يقومان مقام, so two people to replace the non-Muslim ones. من الذين استحق عليهم الأوليان, from those who are the family member, the family of the deceased. So after they come back, because he was traveler, and they came, the non-Muslim basically, to deliver the message, said, your family member, your father, your brother, your cousin, he said this and this and that, and he gave us this. And you have doubt in your heart that they are lying. You know he has more than that. So he said, subhanAllah, فيقسمان الأوليان, meaning they said the close relative, فيقسمان بالله لشهادتنا أحق من شهادتهما. Said when they are, sometimes you know things, you're so positive that person is lying. You can make an oath. Like they said, even when things Islamic, they said something called al-qasama. Remember this. Al-qasama, if someone, you have doubt that he killed a person, but you have no dalil, no proof. Then the family members, they come there, the whole family, like they said 50 people, they should come, said, Wallahi, he the one who did it. Why? Because they have so much issues. They have fought together, they talk about they're going to hurt each other and so on. Then the family member, he said, no, he did. Wallahi, he did. Wallahi, he did. 50 people, they make an oath that he have done it. And then their shahada will be accepted. All right? Said wallahi, basically فيقسمان, they make فيقسمان بالله, said wallahi, the shahadatuna, our testimony is truer than theirs, than their testimony. Said وما اعتدينا, we never were unjust to them. It's very just to them. وما اعتدينا, we're saying the truth because we are confident they are lying. The two lying, subhanallah. And إِنَّا إِذًا لَمِنَ الْآثِمِينَ. So basically, if we done that, then we are sinners, but we're not. We are not sinners because we know what they have done. They have lied and they have concealed the shahada. They have concealed the shahada or the testimony, or they concealed the truth, or they gave only part of the truth. So this is the family member when they know. You cannot say just like, okay, they did the shahada, we're done, we're okay. No, it doesn't work like this. You have to make sure you do the right things. Then the next ayah said, ذَلِكَ أَدْنَى أَن يَأْتُوا بِالشَّهَادَةِ عَلَى وَجْهِهَا أَوْ يَخَافُوا أَن تُرَدَّ أَيْمَانٌ بَعْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ. So subhanAllah, this is, he said, ذَلِكَ أَدْنَى. أَدْنَى mean closer, this better. For them, when you do this, go through the procedure, the steps, step 1, 2, 3, to make sure they are saying the truth. This is the way we made all these conditions. All these conditions, we made it for them so they know. Basically, Allah said, أَيَّأْتُوا بِالشَّهَادَةِ عَلَى وَجْهِهَا أَوْ يَخَافُوا أَن تُرَدَّ أَيْمَانُهُم. Basically, if they lie, they will be exposed among the community. So their testimony will never be accepted. They are basically called liars and so on. So no one gonna listen to them. No one gonna bring him to testify. Done. So this is ذَلِكَ أَدْنَى. Whatever rules we have made to make oath and so on, then it's all right. It's for your own good. ذَلِكَ أَدْنَى أَن يَأْتُوا بِالشَّهَادَةِ عَلَى وَجْهِهَا. Mean to say the testimony the right way. Whatever rules we have made to make them say the truth, to help you out. So, which is to make oath after Asr and so on. It said, وَيَخَافُ أَن تُرَدَّ أَيْمَانٌ بَعْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ. So, this we said will help out to say the truth. And say, wattaqullah. Wattaqullah, the word taqwa, said to everyone, fear Allah. Have the conscious, taqwa means the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To know, turaqabillah, meaning to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. Allah sees everything. So this taqwa Allah, to make shield between you and the punishment of Allah, this taqwa Allah. Taqwa Allah means piety. How do you make shield against the punishment of Allah? By doing the right thing. Stay away from the haram. Fulfill the commands of Allah. This taqwa, because you cannot wear like a vest against the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The taqwa, basically a barrier you make between us and the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by fulfilling the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, staying away from the haram. This is the bottom line of taqwa. He said, wattaqullah, said, wasma'u. Basically, wasma'u al-haq. Listen to the haq. Listen to the truth. This is what I have said. Allah subhanahu, this is the truth. This is the right way to deal with your situations in the case of the death. And he said, Wallahu la yahdi al-qawma al-fasiqeen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqeen, because Allah will never guide the fasiqeen. The fasiqeen, fasiq mean disobedient. The fasiq mean disobedient. Allah does not guide, la yahdi does not guide the disobedient. Why He doesn't guide them? Because they don't want to be guided. So, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَلَمَّا زَاغُوا أَزَاغَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُم, because they diverted away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made their heart divert away. Yes, Adhan? Okay.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Said, Wallahu la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqeen. Said, because they don't want to be guided. The fasiqeen, because they are already disobedient, because their hearts have diverted away from the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And said, Wallahu la yahdi, as a consequences for their actions, because they don't want to be guided. As you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they were informed about the right from the wrong. As Allah said, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We were never punished till we send a messenger. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, someone never received a da'wah, never received deen, so then he's not going to be punished. He will be tested later on, as some scholars have said. However, he said, Wallahu la yahdi, definitely they have been informed about the deen, but they were disobedient, so they didn't deserve the guidance. As you know, we know there's two types of guidance. First of all, to inform the person about the right thing. Second is that's this in everyone's hand. We can deliver the message to the whole world. But for someone to follow, in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. So they call this one Hidayat Tawfiq. Tawfiq, that's mean Allah will guide him to do the right things. But he has to have sound heart. So that's here, Wallahu la yahdi al-qawm al-fasiqeen, because they were disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they don't want to be guided.